I want to become a truck driver in Europe, come closer. I want to become a bus driver in Europe, come closer. Good day, all. My name is Powerful-MTV. Today, we'll be discussing how you can become a truck driver or a bus driver in Europe. Now, stay with me. Firstly, it depends where you come from. Some countries in Africa have like a memorandum of understanding about trucking or driving in Europe. So which means they can come straight to Europe and work as a driver. Take for instance, South Africa or Zimbabwe. They can come to Europe and start working as truck or bus drivers. Okay, now, if your country don't have this memorandum of understanding with Europe or Canada or Australia, and you guys don't have the right to work or start driving immediately you enter Europe, see what you will do. So this advice is basically for people already here in Europe. I want to start driving in Europe, or I want to be a truck driver or bus driver in Europe. Come closer. This video is for you. So the first thing you have to do, we are using truck. Number one example. So if you want to be a truck driver in Europe, we have category they call C or CE, which is basically for truck drivers. So what you have to do is, number one, you have to get a category B driving license for the smaller car. So if you have gotten the category B, the next thing you do is when you go to the driving school, they will tell you that you need a health certificate which shows that you are okay. So you need a health certificate. The second thing is you need what we call first aid. So you have to get first aid. If you have gotten the health certificate and the first aid, the next thing you do is to go and read for the registrar exam, because I'll be using Lithuania as an example. You will be going to you have to study about the exam, maybe study for 2, 3 or 4 weeks or 2 months, depending on your capacity. Then after you must have studied for this long time, you need to go to registrar and pass this exam. The question is 40 and you have to pass 34. Then if you have passed the registrar exam for C/CE driving for truck, you have to now go to driving school. Now, in driving school, you have a 10 to 12 lesson. Now, the first lesson will be for C, which is for the short truck, and the second lesson will be for CE for the longer truck. Then, if you must have completed this in your driving school for the C and for the CE, which is the long and the short truck, now you have to go back to the registrar to do the full practical exam. And in registrar in Lithuania, you will be driving the smaller truck, which is the C, and you will be driving for the bigger truck, which is the CE. So if you pass number 1, you proceed to number 2. So if you have gotten to this stage, stay with me. If you pass the registrar exam, the second thing you have to do is to get your code 95. Code 95 makes you a professional driver in Europe. Without code 95, you cannot work as an international driver in Europe. You cannot drive goods from Lithuania to other country or other part of Europe. So what did I say? To become a truck driver in Europe, you need C and CE driving license. And number 1 step is to have your category B license. Number 2 is you need your health certificate and your first aid. Number 3 is learn about the driving test. Is 40 questions. You need to get 34 out of the 40. Then when you pass, you come back to the driving school, do practical for 12 classes, C and CE. Then you proceed to the registrar and pass your driving exam. After that, you go back to the driving school and do what we call code 95, which makes you a professional driver in Europe. Now, the second part is driving a bus in Europe. I'm using again Lithuania as an example. If you want to drive a bus in Europe, number 1 is to get your driving category B for smaller cars. If you have done that, now here is a tricky one. In category D license, which is for bus, is a bit tricky. Here, when you go to the driving school, you have about 3 tests you have to do. The first test will be, number 1, you have to pass a test in the driving school. After you have passed the test in the driving school, you have to go to registrar and pass the test in the registrar. After you must have done this in the registrar, you have to come back to the driving school and do your practical lessons. You have about maybe 8 to 10 classes 8 to 10 classes of the driving school. So after that, you have to go back to Registra and complete the driving exam and get your category D license for bus. And if you have gotten this from the Registra, you can now still run it simultaneously to do for code 95, which is International Courier Drivers for Bus. So what did I say? For you to get a category D driving license for bus, do this. Firstly, you have to go to the driving school. Once you have your category B driving license, after that, you need your health certificate and your first aid. After that, you have to write an exam in the driving school. The second exam will be at the Registra. After you pass the Registra exam, you have to come down to the driving school to do your practicals, maybe 6, 8, or 10 classes. After the practical, you have to go back to Registra here in Lithuania to pass and get your category D driving license for bus. Now, if you want to be an international driver for bus, you have to do code 95 for international coach bus drivers. So if you have a question, you can ask me, and I'm free and I'm willing to answer any question about truck driving in Europe, which is category C and CE, and the category D, which is for bus drivers. See you on the next one. Don't forget, follow for more and subscribe. Thank you for your time. Bye.